All right, YouTube Nation, how you doing today? We have a beautiful spring day here in the southwestern Milwaukee County area where I work. Realtor, Shorewest, work in the Waukesha area, Franklin, Greendale, Greenfield, Milwaukee, southern part of Milwaukee, stuff like that. Beautiful communities and a beautiful time of year now. We finally have some really nice weather. So, what am I talking about today? The problems or the opportunities, as you think about it, that arise once you buy a house, once you close on a house. Worked real hard, got some folks into a house a few weeks ago. They closed three and a half weeks ago now, and initially it was a little bumpy when they got into it. They knew what they were buying. They'd done their homework and stuff, but they had opportunities. They wanted to paint this, they wanted to refinish that, but then it became, what do we do with this yard, and how do we do that, and where are we going to come up with the money with that? And I had a conversation with a friend over the weekend, also in their house for maybe a month or so now, about a deck, and what to do about a deck, big backyard deck, made out of wood at this point, and the wood is a little rotty and in places, and crinkly paint that's coming up in other places. And I didn't see the deck directly. I saw photographs of it, and my best guess is that the treated wood that deck was made out of is, pretty much met its effective service life, and it's time to replace it somehow. Like many people, young people, when they buy a house, a little bit of a cash crunch, and they're trying to figure out how to, where to go, what to do, what materials to use. So we had a conversation about decking materials and composite board, basically plastic wood that, for the most part, if you install it right, you only have to buy it once. Buy treated lumber, it might last 20 years, but you might have to buy it twice, maybe 3 times eventually. It's wood, it doesn't last forever. And talking about the different opportunities, and I think back to, like some of my first house or two, and, gutting and removing kitchens, remodeling kitchens, and hanging new doors, and, painting and refinishing floors and all the rest of it. These aren't to be seen in my mind as problems. These are to be seen as opportunities. Once you're finally in that house, there's a lot of advice out there on how to get DIY projects done, things like that, and literally anything from plumbing to decks to roofing to whatever. And as long as you stay inside a safe zone, like you might be comfortable with replacing a light fixture, but maybe you don't want to go into a breaker box. Well, if you need work done at the breaker box, then you call an electrician. You do that, simple. And you budget these things out. But the important thing is you have the raw clay, you have the home to work with. All that said, it's never been harder to buy a house than it is right now. Interest rates, costs, stagnant salaries, a million other reasons, and which is why you need to work with a professional to get this done. The shopping on Zillow approach and all of that stuff, that's kicking tires. You're just looking, you're not actually getting anything done. You want to work with a realtor that knows what they're doing, has some experience, knows the market, and is going to keep you grounded. Your first step, as always, is go get your pre-qualification letter. Unless you're somehow able to pay cash for a house, you're going to need a loan. And the first step is to find out how much house you can afford. That's going to answer every question going down the line from there on what kind of a house you're going to end up in, neighborhood that you're going to end up in, community, schools, all the rest of it. So, hey, if you're looking for a house or you need to sell a house, give me a call. All my information is down below in the thingamajig down there, whatever it's called, and I'd love to help out. I love housing. I love putting people in houses, helping people navigate their way through what is one of the most stressful times in anybody's life, buying and selling a house. So give me a call. You have a fantastic day.